Welcome to the Girl Dad Show.
Welcome to the Girl Dad Show, a professional parenting podcast. Each month, I interview entrepreneurs, leaders, and professionals who are balancing parenthood, life, and profession in the hopes to learn what it takes to be an amazing professional parent. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Girl Dad Show. Today is another Girl Dad Talk, where I will talk to you about my professional parenting journey in between interviews with amazing executives, entrepreneurs, and builders on their journey. And today I want to talk to you a little bit more about where I'm at and what I've been working on. I know last time we talked about the business of podcasting, and we talked about the Girl Dad Show as a business and kind of the origin story, where I'm heading with it this year, which was super cool. It's very fun to do that. It was very meta to be unpacking the Girl Dad Show on the Girl Dad Show, talking about how it started, why I'm doing it, what I'm struggling with, and where I'm headed. That was really fun. This time I'm going to be talking a little bit more just generically about where I'm at professionally. There's just a lot going on right now, and it has been a very wild first few weeks of the year. And this last week has been tremendously impactful into changing a lot of things and moving things in a lot of different directions. So I was planning on taking a full-time job, and I still am planning on doing that, but it does look like it's going to be delayed a little bit. And it's good for good reasons, and I'm very comfortable with those reasons, but it does allow for me to have a few months here to figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to fill that time. I wasn't really ready for it. So I started to figure out where I could spend this time, and Blue Ocean obviously came up because it's going really, really well. And the pool service business is amazing. And I do think that I will engage in Blue Ocean much more aggressively in the upcoming years. I actually think by early next year, I should be able to spend a lot more time in Blue Ocean. The business will start generating enough revenue to encapsulate 2 business owners and have enough to cover expenses and keep growing. And so the big thing for me at Blue Ocean is just to not burden the business, because we're spending all the money that it makes to grow it more. And I think there is a lot of formulas and financial models that I've built that show that it should start evening out by the end of this year. And then we should start generating enough profit plus in surplus that will actually afford to hire another headcount like me to be a part of the business more actively. So that's pretty exciting. But that comes back to what I'm working on right now. And so I've spent the last few weeks really diving in. Well, I shouldn't even say last few weeks. I've really spent the last few days really diving into this concept of service businesses. I'm really infatuated with service businesses and Blue Ocean, and I've been coaching a lot of service businesses. I have migrated off of tech companies. Well, not really by choice. I've been basically let go by every tech company that is trying to reduce their burn and save costs. And every major tech company and startup is laying people off, and they're hiring people at a discount. And it's just kind of a hot mess right now as it relates to the tech industry and the tech space. But that being said, I didn't really have a choice, I guess. So I made it sound like it was much nicer than it was. I have defaulted into moving more into the service business space, which is good because I started doing that about a year and a half ago. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love it so much that I started my own pool service company, and I started investing into service business companies and being a part of them, and in addition to coaching them. And so I've always known that I wanted to switch from tech to service consulting. Not to say that I don't want to ever do tech consulting again. I'm always open for business. If you're listening and you need a fractional biz ops person, tech companies, I'm really good at it. But I have wanted to make a switch into really focusing in on service businesses, and I've made that decision quite a bit ago. And I think I'm going to take this opportunity, this kind of gap that I have, to really double down on creating this brand, this business that really focuses on service businesses. I could do it under the Forever Young Agency brand, but Forever Young Agency is really limiting in the potential of what I can build for service business owners. And so I'm very excited about this this kind of discovery and these epiphanies that I've had, and what skill sets do I have? What's the opportunity cost? Am I the right person for the right time? What's the market saying? And, there's like a laundry list of questions that I've been really doing a lot of deep work over the last few days and thinking through and asking friends and contacting people. And it looks like this is the right thing. And it feels really good too. And so over the next few weeks, I am going to be building out a membership community for service business owners. And I'm in the process of further dialing in my systems and process into a framework and documenting it. So we have a version 1 of the documentation. I would love to make it a little bit more robust and tighter so that the systems and mechanics behind the process of scaling a service business is very, very dialed in. And then I'm going to start the process of turning it into a book, maybe an ebook or an actual published book. I'm not really sure, but I definitely want to start the process of writing out my systems because I feel very confident that the systems that I've created, and more importantly, the sequence that I've put them in, really does lend for successful service businesses. I mean, the 6 businesses that I've coached are doubling at the lowest, within a year, and tripling on average. And the businesses that I've invested in have all doubled over the course of a year, and that's amazing. And then my service business that I've created, that I've built myself, Blue Ocean, I really can't say because it's only been around for 1 year, but we made $1 million in revenue in 11 months. And so I'd say it's pretty successful. And I feel very confident that, and I also been training Jamie on this framework and process. And so she's been leading clients through the system, and her clients are doing really well. And so now I've tested it on clients. I've tested it on myself. I've tested it on companies that I've invested in, and I've had someone else trained and they're testing it and it's working. And so I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm feeling like there might be something here. And I will say nothing inside of it's magical, right? It's pretty common sense stuff. But I think that like breaking it down into a ethos and a mindset with the things that you do, plus the sequencing of it, is really where the magic is. And I think that it's going to really help a lot of service business owners not be employees and trapped in their own business, and really help them overcome this kind of like plateau they may be facing or struggle they may be facing, and really become a business owner and lead their business. And so I think I have something to offer. I think I have something to offer the world and all those service business owners out there. And I'm going to do my hardest over the next 6 weeks to really build this out, this brand out, this website, this community, and the framework and the process, and really start launching it probably end of February and early March. So that's kind of the big change. And it's a huge 180 from where I was headed even just like last week. But that is the life of an entrepreneur, I guess, and the life of everybody these days. I don't think anybody's really like not dealing with some level of tumultuousness right now. I mean, the world and the market is changing very, very fast. And it seems like it's very hard to figure out your foothold and plan right now, because there's just a lot of shifting things that are not small, and it's causing indirect or direct ramifications in everyone's lives. So I think it's just the nature of the world right now. And so being really, really agile and proactive and adaptive is going to be key. But that's kind of where I'm at on my journey, is really launching this new business called Owners Club. I guess I can announce it here first, because by the time this comes out, I will probably have already launched it, just because I do these podcasting episodes kind of in groups. So it's a podcasting day. And so although you're listening to me every other week, I do these like, 6 or 8 hours in one day, and I interview 6 people in one day. I don't really do Girl Dad Talks back to back, but I do the interviews all at once. And so by the time you listen to this, I should have already launched Owners Club. So it's safe to say it'll have launched, or it'll just launch like a week later. So I'll mention it now, but Owners Club is going to be my newest project. And I'm very, very excited about it, because more than anything, it's like a community of business owners that I'm going to be gathering. And it's something that I personally need a lot, and something that I've been searching for, and emotionally, like that camaraderie and that connection. I think being an entrepreneur and a business builder is kind of a lonely journey, and there's certain things that not everyone can relate to, whether it's good or bad. And talking to other business owners is really helpful, and it's really really nice. And not just talking about business. Sometimes it's just talking about the struggles of being a good dad, and also how do you justify that with building a business. And those conversations are also really great. And talking about like failures and pivots in both personal and professional, and all the way to all the things that those things do to your mind and brain and body. And it's a lot. And so I know everyone faces these things, but I think what I've been really searching for, even with this podcast, is that community of people that I can relate to and talk to and build with. And I think that connection really inspires me and motivates me, and it keeps me strong and fills my cup to keep fighting. And I'm pretty excited about this business for myself. And I think I could use it a lot. So it's kind of fun because I'm building this business and to help other service business owners. And one of the products is going to be a community. And in that community, I'm also going to be a business owner. And it's super meta. But I think the best businesses are the ones that you create for yourself, right? Where you just can't find it in the market. And so, or there's a bunch of communities, and I'm joining a bunch of communities now. Like I'm part of OG, the COO network, the Operators Guild. And then I'm thinking about joining EO. Well, I'm still considering that one. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but and I'm thinking about joining another one that I just got invited to. So just try to see how I can like continue to meet other builders and entrepreneurs, and just continue to network and find my community and find my clan. But in the meantime, I'm excited about building my own clan, right? And then helping people that have the same problems that I do, that want to support network and friendships and that like talking about business, to talk about like problem solving and gather them together. So that's kind of where I'm at. The biggest problem that I'm facing with all of this is that there's just a lot going on. So now I have to like create an entity. Do I keep Forever Young Agency? I'm going to keep it because I think that I can still get tech clients, and I think that the tech community will come back, and I offer a really cool service there. So I'll keep it. But like I have to create a new entity, create a new website, get the branding done. I have to do business development, build out all sorts of like sales protocols and all sorts of good things, and really try to figure out like how this fits in with my new goal of like spending more time with my kids and physical and mental health. And I'm not really sure how that's all fitting in right now because this isn't generating revenue. So then there's also that, like, what's the cash flow look like? And there's just a lot. There's a lot. And so the biggest problem I'm facing right now is prioritization. So last week, I stayed up really late and I just loaded everything that I needed to do. Project plans, strategic plans, initiatives, even tasks. And I just loaded it all into Asana. And I wasn't even able to get done, even staying up until like 2 a.m. I think I wasn't even able to get it done, which sucks because I mean I felt like shit the next day. But this week I was able to like finally find the time to like get all of it into Asana, and so now I have all of my projects, tasks, ideas, strategies, everything into Asana. And it's this massive list of just like a hodgepodge of like macro level strategies all the way to like, like manual things like bio domain name, like, and it's everything in between. And so I now need to do the work of, prioritization. And it's been really stressful the last 2 days, just like constantly feeling like I'm behind because I just have so many meetings that I'm trying to take, and I'm still trying to like, do business development and figure out where I can, earn revenue, and still running the podcast, still talking to Blue Ocean, talking to Honey and Hive, talking to Flipbirds. I mean, these are all businesses that I'm running. And then my real estate business is also having some issues with my Airbnb unit. My long terms are great, but my short term rentals is like it's just been, you guys know the Airbnb market's been a little weird, and there's a lot of news around this, but it's just causing me a lot of problems. And so all of these businesses are requiring attention as well. And it's just been a really wonky week. And so I've really been like stressed out, overwhelmed, not sleeping well, and having a hard time, like even spending the time with my kids when I'm with them. The quality of time hasn't been good. So it's been kind of bumming me out. So what I'm going to really try to work on is the framework called the simplicity audit. And this one, again, is from Sahil Bloom. I talked about a thing that I found on Sahil Bloom. I love following this guy on LinkedIn. He always has so many great nuggets, but he calls it the simplicity audit. And really, it's about like complexity is the silent killer of focus, clarity, and performance. And it's really around how do you declutter and figure out what is the 20% of things that are going to make 80% of impact, and really figuring out how to force rank and prioritize, this monstrous mountain level of tasks of like, slowing this down, bringing this up, managing these things, handling these problems, and like focusing it all into family and working out and eating right and planning vacations and getting your personal stuff done, like paying your taxes and paying your bills and all these other things. And so, you really got to think about this audit, and it's really, really helping me so far. And I just wanted to share it with you because I'm hoping it might help you when you're feeling overwhelmed like I am this week. And it's pretty cool. So you really want to do is just think about it in 4 capacities. So what does your physical environment look like? Literally your desk, your home, and wherever it is that you're doing your work. What does it look like? Is it cluttered? Is it unorganized? Is it all over the place? And do you have notes everywhere? Do you have Post-its? Do you have like ideas all over the place? Like, what does it look like? And really just hard stop, take 15, 20 minutes, maybe even an hour, and just declutter the crap out of it. And you really, really want to make sure that when you're thinking about decluttering it and looking at it, you want to ask yourself a couple of questions. Is this thing necessary? And is this energy creating? Is this thing necessary, and is this the energy creating? And you really want to make sure that you are really thinking judiciously. It's like the that one show on Netflix where that Japanese lady asks if it makes you happy, if it brings joy. What is that? What is that show? I can't remember. Oh man. Oh, I can't remember. But I hope you know what I'm talking about. But it's a lot like that, right? And then you do the same exercise for your digital environment. Now look at your phone, your apps, your computer, your notifications. Like, do you have 19 windows up? I'm a little embarrassed because as I look at my screen, as I'm looking at you guys, I have like 9 windows up. So it's very cluttered right now, and I need to even think about, is my digital environment, is this necessary? Do I need to have my Slack with its 20 workspaces up? Do I need to have my text message and Signal up? I don't think so, right? And is it energy giving or energy taking away? Is it energy draining? And right now in this moment, it's not energy giving, right? Because it's just like pinging and like distracting me from having this conversation with myself and you. So that's what I mean by that. So I'm laughing because I say this, that's been really helpful for me, and I'm literally falling fallacy to it as I talk to you. That's a little embarrassing. Okay. The third thing is, once you have your physical space, your digital space decluttered, then you want to think about your mental space and your mental environment. What is on your mind? What's pressing you? And, what's your mental state? And you really need to think about everything that's in there and really like unpack that and figuring out, do you need to solve for that first? Like, is it the finances that's bothering you? Is it your health? Is it your meal planning, or like what are all the things that are like just regularly on your mind, like picking up your kid from school or like grocery shopping? Like, just get all of those things into a plan and document it and put it in front of you, visualize it, and really start asking yourself, how can I make this easier? What can I do to make this easier, and what cannot be delegated, or what cannot be done? And really start thinking about how you can get these things knocked out, or passed on to someone else, or off your plate, or just get them done, and kind of think about it in that way, because you want your mind to be clear so that you can work on the things that are actually really, really important. And then the last thing is really around the social environment. And so think about your community, your partner, your children, your coworkers, everybody. And for lack of better words, do the same exercise. Are they creating energy? Are they draining energy? And, are they a fountain or are they a drain? And that's a Peter Espinosa thing right there. That's what I learned from him, from his interview. Great interview, by the way. So if you want a good podcast episode, I would say he ranks as my favorite interview, Pete Espinosa. Please go watch it. And it's a really good way to assess like who is a drain and who is giving you energy. And at least in this moment, you really should try your best to limit the people that are draining you, because it only compounds the complexity of what you're trying to solve for when you're cluttered and stressed out and busy. So if you could take an hour to 2 hours and do these 4 things, right? Really just go through the simplicity audit and declutter yourself. It really will help you give clarity of mind to understand how to best tackle the day. And sometimes it may not be what you thought it was. Like, for example, this morning, I mapped out my travel plans and took care of taxes and finances and paid all these like little bills. And I just got all that stuff out of the way because it was something that was going to be too hard to delegate in this time and moment, but it kept stressing me out. And so although it probably wasn't the most urgent or important, I realized that I just had to get it done. And so I just spent my morning doing that. And now I'm able to really focus on the things that I need to build and work on. And although I'm still really overwhelmed, I feel like I have a sequence of plans and priority that I can work through that I feel really good about. And I'm tackling it in the most strategic manner. And so this framework is really great. And so I really wanted to share this with you because I know that I'm not alone in creating, craziness in my life. And I just wanted to share with you what I'm working on right now to solve for it. And I hope that it helps you on your professional parenting journey as you grow your career and you grow your family. And I'm very, very excited to be able to share with you what I'm working on right now. And I cannot wait for you to see Owners Club. And I hope that you are just as excited about it as I am. And when it does come out, I would really appreciate it if you just gave me some support and love and feedback on what you think about it. And then obviously, if you know any service business owner friends that you think could benefit from a process or a framework or an operating system, please introduce me. I would love to talk to them. I'm still always iterating and testing and trying to figure out the optimal way to structure this thing and deliver it, and then obviously monitor and manage it. So the more people I can talk to, the better. And if I can help them, that'd be even better, right? Because then it'd be another case study and another success story for me, which would be awesome and just further validates the progress and process. And then, as always, please, if you enjoyed this podcast or this episode and you learned anything from it, please take the moment to share it with your friends and give us a thumbs and a 5-star rating. Your support in the podcast, not just listening, but also sharing it, is so helpful. And it means so much more to me than you can possibly realize. So anything you could do to help me, really support the podcast through sharing and engaging is greatly, greatly appreciated. And I look forward to continuing our professional parenting journey together and continuing to learn together from amazing guests. And I'm hoping that I can provide some learning for you and insight for you by sharing my professional parenting journey. And as always, if you have any questions or comments or thoughts, feel free to message me or text me or message me in social media, and my team will get back to you, and we'll try to incorporate everything that you guys want to learn more about. I'm really curious what I can talk more about and if there's any content ideas. But otherwise, I'll keep sharing updates on where I'm at. And then I think the next one, I'll have a lot more information about Owners Club. And I also want to share with you what I plan on doing with Blue Ocean next year, because I think next year, as I go more into Blue Ocean and spend more time there, there's a really unique opportunity for that business to even be 10, maybe even 100 times bigger than it is right now. And I have a pretty good idea of how I think I could do that. And I can't wait to share it with you. I mean, just talk to you about it. I'll have a lot more information. I have a couple more people I need to meet to really finalize the thesis, but it's pretty exciting. So anyways, until next time, let's keep learning together. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all. Thank you for listening to The Girl Dad Show. Did you know that our website is full of really fun products like the shirt I'm wearing? Visit thegirldadshow.com to shop our t-shirts, hats, mugs, and more. And follow our social channels to hear about our latest sales.